My buddy.
Buddy. Okay, so we're on week 6. We're going to talk about, let's just go through the food labels first and about how you're supposed to shop. So first of all, this, like what Don was saying, is like the perfect point that we're going to go over today. When you guys go shopping, no, that's not perfect. Don't buy the stuff you don't need in your house, because if you have it there, you're going to eat it, right? And I mean, that's just most of us, okay? There might be like a 5% that are really strong and they can just stare at the brownies every single time and keep walking by. But most of us, if you have that craving, if your insulin spikes and you're like, drops, and you need something, then your brain tells you to grab the quickest thing you can grab. So you're going to grab the chips or whatever else. It's really hard to be like, oh my God, I'm so hungry right now, give me carrots, right? So, I know, yeah, carrots. And I'll do that where you should see I spend endless minutes, not hours, but staring in my fridge and my cabinet, hoping something bad for me pops out. Because I'll just be like, oh, I really want something bad for me, and I'll go through and I'm like, so finally, like, I guess I'll have edamame, or like last night I came home and wanted something so bad, and I ended up having my faya and my snap peas, because you don't have it here. But if it was here, rest assured, I would be eating it. Yeah. So when you're doing your shopping, try to shop around the perimeters, right? You guys heard that. That's going to be where your freshest foods are. Think about the rows. That's where all of your muffins and your chips and your cereals and your crap is, aside from like the spice row, and there's a couple different things like your canned veggies. Most of your good stuff is going to be around the edges. Try to shop for the things we've talked about. So you know your meats and your proteins, and you know your white cheeses instead of your yellow cheeses if you can. And then your like low fat, when you're doing milks, your low fat milks are a better option, like fat free cottage cheese or low fat cottage cheese if you can. And then your carbs are the main thing, right? So it's trying to get those whole wheat carbs and stuff in instead.
What's the difference between white and yellow cheese?
Yellow cheese is a lot more fat and calories. Oh. So I think some people are just going to give up their cheese altogether, but you don't need to give up cheese. Like your string cheese is one of our main things. Cottage cheese is one of our main things. So we're still eating dairy if your stomach can handle it, but you just try to avoid. I have a lot less like sharp cheddar and all the yellow cheeses, and you get used to that change too. So that's going to be one thing when you're looking at a label. So I probably should have just grabbed something out of my cabinet, just anything. What I generally do is look at your calorie to protein ratio. So when I do have all of our food labels, just grab like something that's bad for you, because I know that I have those crackers in there, and then I have hot cocoa, popcorn, I don't know, a couple like just random things. Protein bar. Like, yeah, that's all my cabinet I just said. That's right. So I get these for the kids still, because I still don't understand, like we were saying, it's hard to have quick snacks for your kids. So I still let them pick out something. So in a package of crackers, this baby has 190 calories. So this is the same as having an entire shake, right? And you're thinking, but it's got peanut butter and it's got to be good for me. It's got 4 grams of protein. Our 190 calorie shake has 20 grams of protein. So how full is this going to keep you? Not so full, right? For 100 calories, I liked it to have at least 5 grams of protein. That would be my okay food. That's like your hard-boiled egg. And that's like a 5% ratio, right? For something that's a good food, I like it to have 10 grams of protein. So that's going to be like 10 grams for your 100 calories. Hold on, bud, I'm doing a talk. And then for like my superfoods, I like it to have 20 grams of protein for 100 calories. So that's like your cottage cheese, your Greek yogurts. Those are your main ones. Like I think maybe your egg, like the shake 'em up eggs, egg beaters, whatever, not your actual eggs. So that's what I'll look at when I'm looking at the label. So when you go down like the cracker aisle or the chip aisle or whatever, just one of the funky aisles where you're like, is this protein bar good? Is this one not good? You're going to see it. So even when I find your Kashi one, if it's 100 calories and it's 2 grams of protein, probably not so awesome, right? And usually they're not just 100 calories either, PS, right? Or you get it's a 100 calorie pack of pretzels or cookies.
They're so good about advertising that to suck you into buying them.
Right, and so I'll go in and I'll tell people it might be 100 calories, but if you need to eat another 100 calories, like if you need to add calories to your diet, then that's fine. But most of us don't need to at the end of the day, right?
Especially empty calories.
Yeah. And that's what it all comes down to, is the empty calories. So we'll do, one of my favorite one is like the fiber bar. And that's just because a lot of people are like, but it's got fiber infused in it, so this has got to be good, right? When you look at your fiber bars, they're going to be like, it's a ton of sugar. So it's like 12 grams of fiber and then 200 calories. And I'm thinking you could have had a full shake instead of that one little brownie and then put some fiber in it. So I mean, you need to be able to, like we said before, you need to be able to like let yourself eat the little treats that you want, but don't consider that your food. So I'll have people be like, but these pretzel chips, like they're flat pretzel chips, they're so good for me, right? Or these chips are multi-grain black bean chip. No, they don't have anything like, look at the ratio. Do they have anything of use, anything that your body needs in there? Not really, because you're going to get your carbs from everything else you have, right? So that's, food labels ends up being pretty easy when you try to go, just look at that portion, that ratio of them. See the sample shopping list that we gave you guys on week 1. If you remember, that's kind of in there just to give you a good idea of stocking up with your good items. So I was saying I went to Costco yesterday, and in my basket, literally, like there's like apples, red apples, green apples, clementines, snap peas, Faya yogurt, chicken, whole wheat bread, and that's pretty much what I end up leaving the store with, right? So my shopping bill's really low. There's not a whole lot of options when I want to cheat, and it makes it just all around easier. So if you can, start to make those changes. Food label questions. Go. And stop. Good. Okay. Stress, sleep, and weight gain. This one's new, and it's fabulously fun. So we know we've heard about this, right? A lot of times for most people, stress equals weight gain, especially women. Sometimes for some of us, it equals the opposite, but generally it's going to equal weight gain. Mm-hmm. Lack of sleep equals weight gain. And now I'm going to kind of tell you why that is, because I didn't know, so I researched it. That's what I do. Mm. So what makes, when you're having a high stress, why is it so easy to gain weight, right? First of all, when you're stressed out, cortisol is released into your system, yeah? And like, so if you have like that fight or flight response where you have the adrenaline, like the cortisol that goes in, and when you have continuous stress, then you continually have that higher level of cortisol in your system. What that's going to do is actually going to lower your metabolism. So if your resting metabolic rate is 1500 and you're continuously stressed, your body naturally is just going to burn less calories. So that's going to be the one, like for most of us, where we're going to see a change and we're going to start putting weight on. Even if you're like, but I'm still eating really good and I'm still gaining weight, well, it's because your cortisol is higher. Then your cravings. So when you're stressed out, do you guys notice, like you have the craving for those other foods that you generally wouldn't be eating? And that's the emotional eating that comes into it with the stress of it. And that's going to have your poor food choices. And your blood sugar levels. So prolonged stress alters your blood sugar levels. And we talked about our insulin, right? Your cycles. So this is where we talked about snack defense and making sure you're keeping your insulin regular. And it's going to alter that because and then you're going to have mood swings and fatigue and hyperglycemia. So all those different things equal weight gain. And then there's the obvious. This is kind of what most people think of. Oh, wait, no, not that one yet. Fat storage. This one's, I think we know this too. So excessive stress affects where you store fat. Do you guys ever notice that stress fat is right around your abdomen area? Mm-hmm. So when you're getting it like right around the belly, like the tube around your belly can be associated with stress. And that's linked to more of your health risks. So if you're an apple over a pear, my apples are round at the top, my pears are round at the butt. It's healthier to be round at the butt than it is to be round here. That's your visceral fat. Remember your first day where we looked at that? So it's the fat around your organs and your heart. And it's like,
I'm like, what fruit
oh, man. And you can look at your family. Like John's family are all apples. My family are pears. Like, so I just know, I don't know which one my kids are going to be. I'm a pear. Where do you lose? I lose weight from my stomach before my butt.
Mm-hmm. So I lose it in my butt and thighs before I'd ever lose it in my stomach.
So if you get to your like skinniest weight.
I don't even have a butt, I don't think.
You're an apple.
I'm an apple?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, you're a pear. Yep. Don,
I'm
you're
an apple.
Cinnamon stick.
Yeah.
You're adorable. We love Don. I know, even when you carried your weight before you're 25 pounds, you were still pretty even. You know? You didn't have one or the other. So then the other factors that I was going to say is your emotional eating, your fast food, and you're too busy to exercise. So when you're stressed, that's all very apparent, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to grab for the pizza, or like I went over to a friend's house that was having some problems and it's chocolate cake, right? First thing that they have in there. I'm so busy, I just stop at fast food because I don't have time to get anything that's good for me, equals weight gain. And then I'm too busy to exercise, that's going to equal weight gain. With your stress, one of the key things that you can do is work out. You need to try to work out like at least 20 minutes in the morning. And then I don't remember the exact statistic, I had it in another talk of mine, but you end up being more productive. And they say, I forget, I think it was like if you exercised for 20 minutes, you would gain an hour of productivity in your day. So basically by taking that time, you're going to be so more with it in your brain, in your mind, and in your body that you're going to get that much more done. So take the time to exercise, and when you release that like those endorphins, then you'll counterbalance some of the stress. So the first thing that you should do if you're stressed out is go out and do a 10-minute walk. Before you have the chocolate cake, before you have the snack, go out and do your walk so that you can, kind of release some of those good endorphins, and then maybe you won't be as apt. Some other things that you can do. So it says, what do you do about stress? Breathing exercises. On your homework, or when we send you your email, there's going to be a list of, or a full list of how to do these things, because one of your homeworks is to practice one of these. So as simple as when you just want to grab your kids and just shake them because they're wigging you out. Just taking some deep breaths. So it'll show you how to do breathing exercises. PMR is called progressive muscle relaxation. And I had to do this when I was little because I could not sleep. I was a stressed little kid. So you'd have to squeeze all of the different muscles slowly throughout your body and then release them. And when you release them, you actually release some of that stress that's in your body, so you can let go of it, which is fantastic. And the next one, meditation. That's supposed to be meditation. So go ahead and add a T in there. I'll go ahead and do that in our notes next time. Meditation. Have any of you guys meditated before? No. I can't even imagine trying to be still or quiet for more than 7 seconds.
It would drive me crazy.
I'd start laughing.
And people that, I've heard of people that start adding it to their, daily routine. You really start with, 10 to 30 seconds of trying to meditate. So mini. This is not taking a whole lot of time. There's tools to try this in that homework, too. I think if we all just tried that, it'd probably be it'd probably be good for us. It's just like yoga. I know I should do yoga, and it would be that same sort of feeling. We just don't take the time to do it. We're too stressed. We got too much going on. If we can try to take a minute to clear your mind, it'll help. Aromatherapy, quick burst of exercise, like I was talking about, and then just having a good laugh. So if you're going to laugh in the middle of that, that's okay, right? It's going to be part of your stuff. Humor, right? Just in any sort of trauma or stress, if you can add humor to what you got going on, you're going to release some of the stress. Same thing with your endorphins and just feeling better. I was in a bad mood at the beginning of this week, and I am never in a bad mood, and I was like, what is going on with me? I even told John, I don't understand. I don't do this. So it was 2 days of being pissed for no reason. He's like, why are you pissed? I'm like, I don't know. I don't understand. Do I have hormones? I'm not really sure what's going on. I kid you not. I drove to the studio whatever day, and I made myself smile for 15 minutes because I've just heard that helps. And it did help by the end of that, and I felt like the biggest idiot in the world just driving by myself. I'm just like, but I'm not happy. Still not happy. And by the end of that, I did feel a little bit better, because when you're smiling, it's going to cause your body to release. I don't know. I don't know if you release endorphins or what you release, but it changes something in the hormones that you have going on. So practice those different things. And then see if you can try to fight the stress off. Because we can do all these different changes in the world, but if you have a high stress life or the lack of sleep, it's not going to make the change. So let's see if we can get through sleep on this one too. Actually, I'm just going to pause this. Part 1 done!